There you go. How's that?
Right on time.
There it is.
I'm going to the store.
Okay. Hello.
You're lost already.
I am. So I have a procedural question before we begin. Do we need unanimous votes because there's only three of us?
No,
You don't. Okay.
So it's a
Proceed
quorum
to
of
the
the
root.
number we've got.
Say what?
A quorum of the number we've got.
the problem is that we have three.
Proceed to the root.
Proceed
2
to
out of
being
3 is
quiet.
usable. Okay,
Yeah, if I,
yeah, I wondered that myself.
but occasionally I leave the room because I know the person that. So the other two. Yeah. How are we gonna do this? Quorum first. Caroline Burkhardt and Marcus Vieira.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for bearing with us. We're gonna get started, so we have 21, 80, 142, Caroline Burkhardt, and Mark. Hi.
Okay. I'm going to make a normal speech that we make downstairs in the big room. And so, good evening. And welcome to this meeting of the Yarmouth Kings Highway Startup District Committee, which is being held at Yarmouth Town Hall, 1146 Route 28 in Conference Room A. This is an in-person meeting, but later we'll be able to be reviewed on Channel 18, not tonight, but in the future, but tomorrow, which is the town, through the town website. My name is Richard Gagenwath. I'm the chairman of the Open Highway Committee. And we have several applications tonight. Let's go very first on the agenda. And there'll be 6 new applications and 2 carried over from the previous meeting. We review things for the aesthetics, basically, and the setting, how it fits in with everything else. You have to go to other departments, like health department, to review health codes and stuff, plumbing, and the building department, the engineering department, and so on. That's usually where the first stop, then we go to the others. We have an appeal process in that if you don't like the outcome of the meeting tonight and you want to appeal it, there's a higher authority, which is the commission, made up of the chairman of each of the town committees from Sandwich to Orleans. And you need to do that within 10 days, calendar days, not business days. When our results are filed this time. So, understanding that, we begin. You had a bunch of things you're going to do with the house.
Well, the first thing I wanted to ask you guys is your application talked about siding and doors and windows, finish the basement. and alterations to
Yeah.
existing structures with additions. What are they?
Oh, the dormers.
There's no addition actually.
There's no addition?
No, we're gonna keep the same time square foot. We're just gonna finish the basement. There's no.
Okay, so
addition,
there's no other alterations?
No.
Okay.
We're gonna work all the inside of the house. We're not gonna have any additions.
Oh, yeah.
You changed it? Because I went over the plan on the internet this afternoon, which had a new front entrance.
Yeah, so just the relocation for, I think you guys have it. So
Right.
currently it's on the side right here,
Right.
and we wanted to just move it here.
To the front.
Yeah. Yeah,
With
and then
entrance for
two
your
little
kind of
dormers,
over it.
but no like extra rooms, like it's, we're
Well,
not
the square
changing
footage
things.
doesn't change.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll be like, just like a porch.
Yeah, it's a covered entry.
Just a cover entry with like a porch.
Or if you- this one, entry on the side here,
Yeah, that
was
was,
in keeping with the fact that the garage is over here and the driveway was there. And so when visitors came, they can go into the front door easily. And everyone else, when you arrive, you go in the garage and walk upstairs, right? But you also got to go driveway over here.
Yeah.
yeah, it's, so they have like what you said, there's a little door that goes to where the kitchen is here.
Right, to the
It's a
patio.
small single door. There's a little like parking spot here.
Right.
And then, but like the official, like where they have people from before, so there's like a
Right.
walkway that goes here.
Right.
And then that, the official, I mean, the official one of them is here. And then, yeah, and then what you were saying with the garage here, and then that goes into like a driveway
Right.
to the
Right.
street, and then that goes to
Yeah.
there.
So if you're going to make more use of this driveway, the guest parking, and you walk up to the front door more easily.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's understandable.
and with groceries and like a stroller, you'd think it might be easier.
Sure. Now, in addition, so this is new construction, if you will. And the dormers on the front and the back, what are they all about?
The dormers pretty much is just to look more like as a cave style, because pretty much our house right now is like ranch style. And then when you like drive up, it's like a huge, the house actually look like a huge barn for us. And then we want to add the dormers just to have a look nice in the house. But those dormers is gonna be like right high in a bedroom. I mean, you don't have access to open the windows or anything. It will be like a picture window there.
What is it?
Fixed window.
What-
Fixed window,
So
yeah,
we're open.
yeah,
Right. I think
Yeah.
that is-
So it's strictly decorative?
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it'll let slide in. It's not
yeah. but
purely
for-
decorative.
Into the,
Yeah, it will give more space inside of the house, but also, like I said, it's like, there's a lot of houses in the Cape with like dorms and.
So there's no ceiling inside below those doors?
No,
Okay.
no, it's a very high ceiling, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
uh,
Yeah, pretty much what we're gonna do is just like cut the roof and add a dormer, and you change the complete style of the house. Will be much more like a Cape style than like a ranch style.
well, the bedrooms are here, and they have just an 8-foot ceiling, isn't it?
Just like when, pretty much when the ceiling starts, it's 8 foot, but raising the
Oh, it's
ceiling will be, yeah, will be like almost like
So you're
12,
taking,
13.
you're making it a vaulted ceiling?
We're gonna remove the ceiling.
yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, so then those would be visible from the bedroom then, these two dormer windows?
Oh, yeah, definitely from inside, yeah, yeah,
That's a big job.
yeah.
Hope you're not gonna do it yourself.
Oh.
You're gonna live in it.
I can teach sixth grade math, that's not
It's
gonna.
essentially you're taking the roof off. So you, of course,
Or are you just cutting holes in the roof, did you say?
What's that?
Are you taking, this looks like a complete addition here, this roof
No,
line.
no, we do have the roof.
Like.
So
if
you
this
take
is
it
right out
just
of
a
here.
hole.
Pretty much,
Okay,
pretty
just
much,
a couple
yeah, but
holes.
as I just said, these two bedrooms, and the master bedrooms in the back,
Yeah.
these have 8-foot ceiling now.
Mhm.
And they
I'm
will
just gonna open them up.
Yeah.
cathedral ceiling.
Right, that
Yeah.
will expose those windows to the inside of the house, to the front, to the bedrooms.
Structurally, it'll be a big problem because the rafters can't support themselves that way.
Oh, no, I mean, the engineers already checked that and everything's fine, because he already did the new plans with cathedral ceiling. Our engineers already checked that and everything, all the instructions, the house will support, and there's like beams, everything, and we're gonna raise the ceiling. There's no problem at all. I mean, the architect checked that and the engineers, so pretty much what they're gonna do is like, it's more,
You're
Like-
leaving all the beams intact. Are you leaving all the beams intact and just
No.
taking out the ceiling?
No,
we're gonna
they
take
can
the
make
ceilings off.
all the
I
ceilings
know
will-
that, but I'm talking about the roof beams.
Oh, no, the roof beams, of
The-
course,
the-
will
the-
be.
the
it, yeah,
rafters you're
yeah,
talking about.
definitely.
You mean
That's
the
gonna-
rafters?
That's will support the roof, yeah. But pretty much, we're just gonna cut a hole here and put two dorms here and a master on the other side. It's gonna be more as
Just aesthetic with like,
aesthetic, yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I guess it's a very common thing in the Cape to have dorms in the house. And I mean, our house pretty
No,
much, it's
No,
more
no,
like
it's not. What's common is if you have a cape with a higher roof pitch, like a 12-inch pitch, it gives you a lot more room on the second floor.
Mhm.
And so people make use of that. Sometimes they put a full dormer across the whole back of the house. Sometimes they put in these dog house kind of dormers, and that gives you light and air. Because they put the windows at the right height, so it's with the codes for the height of the sill, so you can climb out the window, and so on. And the amount of glass area per square footage of the room, all that comes into play, and it makes useful space upstairs. But you're not doing that. You're just gonna make a big high ceiling.
Yeah,
So it's very airy inside. But those walls between the rooms have to go all the way up to the rafters too.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of construction that's going on. And I had a friend who one time took the roof off the house and put a second floor on it that way. So she lived with me for a couple of months. It was a good job. And that's
yeah.
this has been, it's like 28 floor now.
So you really want this cupola?
Yeah.
It's really
Sort of strikes me as incongruous.
Yes, it doesn't fit in. with
No,
architecture or anything.
I think it would be better off without it, honestly. It serves no function. It's just that, well, I guess you could have access to it from below so that you could get light from it. And it could be also if the windows in it can be opened up, you get an exhaust, you get some nice ventilation through the cupola, which is what they were originally designed for. But from an aesthetic point of view, it doesn't really fit the house.
No, the thing is, the house now is very similar to lots of houses in that general area. And one of the things is it has shutters, white shutters. And I recall a few years back when the homeowner at that time came in and asked to change the siding on the front. And they put on this blue vinyl siding. Now you want to take that off and put shakes on the
Yeah.
white cedar shingles. And but the grills have been like 6/6 double hung windows, which is very common in that area. And on Old Cape Cod. So to switch to black windows with unspecified grills, I didn't see it. What kind of grills you're doing?
The windows, yeah, we do have,
There's some black.
Shown as 4/4.
On the dooring, yeah.
Show me like.
Is that what you're planning for 4/4 for the windows?
Like the Anderson?
Well, I don't have the Anderson
What's that?
here,
Awesome.
but it's shown on the drawings as 4 lights over 4 lights
Yeah, but the
on all the windows.
existing, both show the same thing.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
It's on this.
This is 2 It really have to be appropriate on the house like this. You really should go 6/6. And certainly the sliding glass door is proper. Basement sliding glass door too. Right. Yes.
Hmm.
Your existing windows are 4/4.
Yeah,
No.
well, that's what they appear to be on this
the-
photo.
6/6.
Do you understand?
What are you, was this your question?
These windows, it looks like there's 4 panes over 4 panes.
Yes.
And he says he was there today and you have 6 panes over 6
Are
panes.
they
Well,
6? You
we
can't.
didn't
it's hard.
change the windows when we bought the house, that's the windows is there. I can look it up the picture to see what kind of windows are, but it's a very cheap window.
Mhm. I think what's being suggested by the chairman is that the
Yeah.
existing windows being 6/6 is more traditional and more consistent with what is present on other houses in the neighborhood.
Do you have a picture?
Yeah, that's the windows there now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
6/6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Your drawings are just wrong.
Okay, sorry. I don't want to sit, I don't know.
so I think my 2 reservations, my primary reservation is the cupola. My secondary reservation is why don't we stick with the 6/6 windows? Why change to 4/4?
Right.
6/6 is what
The window.
is there. So in effect, it would be like for like. And it's also consistent with what's in the neighborhood.
You know, it's not a contemporary.
Would fit,
house.
in other words, the house fits better in its setting, which is what we use as a guideline for making our determinations. It would fit better in the setting if it harmonized more with the other houses in the neighborhood, which it actually does now.
That's like a stupid question. What do you mean by the 6x6 or?
Oh,
A
the
window,
number,
yes.
the windows are divided.
Oh, how it's
yeah.
The
divided.
lights, the number of
with-
lights.
with-
Exactly.
The number-
Is your
Yeah.
plan to change the dormers to 4/4, or are you gonna go with what you've got
I mean, we're gonna go with the windows.
that are existing in the house?
No, that's the bring way there, if we can install that. That's the window we want.
It's,
Yeah. It's the Anderson like 100, is like 2 lights and top is fixed, all clear and yeah.
It doesn't match. your
I'm
door.
sure they make 6/6.
No, it doesn't match the old one, yeah.
In fact, I know they make 6/6s. So it's not changing the windows that concerns me. It's changing the number of lights from 6/6 to 4/4. I would prefer to see you stick with the 6/6. And you can get Andersons or any other
Okay,
company
you-
windows.
You can get that, like the 6 light, like bigger, like, cause our problem now is cause those windows pretty much like, it's like this big. You can't even stick your head outside, it's like so small, and we're trying to get like more light inside of the bedrooms, cause the bedroom is too dark. And cause the windows are too small. And we thought to have those windows, cause it's will bring more light to inside of the house.
So you want to have bigger windows.
Yeah, that's our,
I don't see an issue with, for me personally, that's not an issue.
Oh.
But I think they should be divided 6/6.
Right.
It's fine to have bigger windows. In fact, I think that's an improvement. I think you're right about that.
Mhm.
I think it's not only an improvement for your living space inside, but it's also an improvement for how the house appears, the curb appeal, let's call it. So increasing the size of those bedroom windows in the front is, I think it's perfectly fine. In fact, desirable. But I would rather see 6/6. So I think you're going to get the size you want, but divide it into 6/6. That's what I would recommend. And I honestly, I feel the cupola is gilding the lily. It's a modest house, and
But what,
the cupola is not consistent with that.
but what do you mean, why the cupola won't fit to the house? Cause the neighborhood or?
Well, that's part of it, and also it's just the style of the house. As I said, it's a modest house. It's not a grand house, and I think the new entryway is enough of an enhancement without adding the cupola on the roof. The new entryway is, I think, quite handsome, actually.
It's like when I designed
Yeah.
over in Pheasant.
So do we have any concerns elsewhere on the design?
You're putting a sliding glass door downstairs, so exiting is good. And on the side as well.
Yeah,
And then you have a big picture window on the side, on that west side. And what is that all about?
It's really dark. We just want to air it out and just think, because there's nothing, there's like the chimney and then it's the corner.
Right.
And just so it's dark, just to give it some extra light.
Oh, well, you're putting side lights on the front door.
Yeah, but like on,
The west side.
yeah, so we're putting, they'll be here, but then it's on this side.
Right.
So currently it's like pretty dark over here, so we wanted to add the picture window over there. I think it's.
Yeah. You don't consider heat at all.
well, all the windows pretty much is like, it's very high efficient. And we're doing like high efficient heat in the house and are you talking about like, because the,
Well, windows, whether they're high efficient or low efficient, they're low. You know, you're talking the walls of your house have like R20. And the best windows, triple glaze, have about R5. So, you know, like 4 times more heat is going out your window than similar size wall. And so to put a big window there for no good reason except a little enhancement light is like putting a hole in your wall for the window. If you stand there, you'll feel it. Your body heat just going out the window. And so you're also going to change the heat in your bedrooms by putting the cathedral ceilings in all 3 bedrooms. And the air circulation because of the height and also the window upstairs is a source of cold. So you're making a big change in the amount of heat that you're going to be using in coming years by making those changes. I'm not an engineer. I design houses. I design solar houses. So I would not put, you know, right now you have the front of your house faces south. The pitch of the roof isn't too bad. It's fairly good design to put solar panels on your roof. But when you start taking it up with dormers here and there, you have to immediately reduce the number of solar panels you'd ever be able to put there. And also they provide shading for the solar panels. So it's all things that when I'm designing a house, I wouldn't do, but you're doing it. And when you have an engineer calculate the heat load before and after, you find a good change.
So before we haven't finished addressing the picture window. But just for clarification purposes, these proposed elevations where you're showing the fenestration faint, that's not because you're eliminating all of it. It's just they're going to remain. All those windows, those garage doors, all that will remain.
Yeah.
What you're adding is this dormer.
Right.
And the location of the dormer
It's
is,
on the north side.
yeah,
So the other thing, the sunroom, if you will, is also on the north side. Sunrooms are typically on the south side so that they get the sun. You're going to get the shade all day long. So you should change the name. Three
The
seasons.
shade room.
Three season room. maybe. But it's not a sunroom.
the dormer that you're showing on the north proposed elevation. You started to talk about that. It's located there because it's centered on the room that's inside. Okay, because it doesn't relate to the array of windows below at all.
Yeah, it's pretty much is matching the other one on the other side of the roof.
Right.
Right,
Yeah.
It's the same idea. It's going to have a cathedral ceiling.
yeah,
And the
oh no, I
bedroom.
got that. I'm just thinking
with
the balance.
with
My
additional light.
issue is balance.
Yeah.
But it's on the north side. It's not the front of the house, so.
Right. Wouldn't matter.
Well, I think from my perspective, we haven't finished with the picture window.
I think that should be reduced. If you had a window like a casement size window, will give you plenty of light.
Yeah,
Would it change anything if we like planted in front of the picture window?
well,
It's also, one of the things you're gonna have to do with it is put a drape in front of it. Because walking down the street, you want to look right into your living room.
No, but the picture window is on the side. It's
It's on
not
the side.
in the side wall,
When
yeah.
you walk down the street, you walk down toward the side of the house, and right on the corner is this big window to look in. And so immediately, we're gonna be putting drapes up to block the light. That's why I say if you're gonna do it, put a smaller window, like a casement window, single, doesn't even have to open. Get fixed casement windows. That would be half the area of that, or less than half.
and 6 overs. What would be the division, the light
You could
division?
put a grill in that as well.
Yeah, 6/6. Or 6, if it's a single.
Well, it would be
casement.
narrow, so, yeah. Total of maybe 8.
Well, so first of all, would you be receptive to eliminating the cupola? And changing the windows to the proposed windows to 6/6 like the existing. And then doing something along the lines of what the chairman suggested with the picture window, a smaller casement window. Would you be amenable to those changes? Because we could approve this application as amended. with
Change.
those changes. So, but you have to decide in your own heads whether you can live with that or not. So-
A quick question, just for understanding, because there's like, about the neighborhood, there's a couple of new properties there with cupolas and everything. It's a different, I mean, the cupola, it's about the style of the house or
The style and the location,
style and the
the style and the location, the neighborhood and the style of the house. You know, when we make our
Look like
determinations,
there's two houses over it, like on the other side, they have cupolas there. And it's a new property. I mean, they're,
Are they a different style house than yours?
yeah, oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
I love cupolas. I have one on my barn.
Yeah.
Which is where cupolas frequently are.
Like 100 years ago,
Yeah,
not today, you know, because cupola
But-
used to bring air out for the house, how that's designed, but cupolas now, it's more, like decorate.
can you show me on this map where the other houses are that? you
So
just referenced?
I you know, I just drive around, I don't.
Okay, it's
yeah,
not in your immediate vicinity.
Yeah,
I drove all around in there this afternoon, because once you get in, you can't get
Yeah.
out.
yeah, no, I mean, it's,
that's.
And there are
I
no
just want to like
cupolas around.
understand what it is, because I mean, definitely like cupola, like even like, it's a very common thing.
I
And I
understand.
thought it was like.
No,
single-
they exist and they are around,
Yeah,
but not where you live, not in your neighborhood.
Yeah,
See,
it had to be like, if you have a two-story colonial with an attached garage, where you get to the garage through a breezeway,
Mhm.
and they might put one on that garage. You know, that's kind of application that we see and we approve of often, not always. And someone came in at the last meeting, they were putting a cupola on a shed. And it was really a small cupola, and it just looked completely out of place. It was gonna be on the shed in the backyard. And he said, no, that's, so they agreed. They took it off.
so in essence, what we determine is, to put a nice bright light on it, an effort to improve on your idea. We think these changes will actually improve your idea. If you ever sell the house, I think it would help the resale value of the house, because the house cupola just doesn't fit on this house. It's like those things you used to do as a kid. What's wrong with this picture? I don't know if they still have those, but obviously, I mean, we're not here to design the house for you. You've designed the house. We're just trying to improve the design that you've given us. So you may not agree with us, but I think the consensus, if I'm assessing it correctly, is that those changes, the only really major one is the cupola. That seems to be the.
We fine, we understand, yeah.
Okay. So, do you want me to proceed with a motion to
Do you want to
approve?
hear from abutters?
Are they here?
We'll check. Yeah, what is it, 18 Skipper Lane?
Right.
Oh,
There any other here?
Okay. No.
That was silence.
Yes, go ahead. You were gonna
No
say something.
butters?
All butters.
chasing that with the picture window.
Oh, I mean, the picture in there is nice, can bring light, but if they think it's not, I don't really.
I think a
mean-
picture window in that location.
Oh,
I was just hoping to do like thuyas, so at least it was like blocked, but there was some sunlight.
it's
I
more
think-
about like, I mean, because here it gets so dark early and, I mean, it's,
I'm all for the
and
window.
people, I mean, people is very different from here than Boston. Nobody like walking the street looking your inside of your house or, But I mean, definitely if you have the picture window, we will have like plants or I don't know, something to like cut, but it's not like an important thing to in a house. I mean, definitely we're putting a ton of money on this property.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and the neighborhood is not that, it's that, like you said, it's small houses and I mean, no, people still like fixing their house there. And we're putting a lot of money on their house. We wanna have, I'm not looking to have the best house in the neighborhood, but definitely like I wanna have like a good house
Yeah,
here. 'cause,
no, I understand.
you know,
I think a lot of what you've proposed is really nice.
Yeah,
Um,
cause I mean, we're gonna spend like almost like 100K to do like this, like,
Cathedral
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 ceiling.
ceiling and dormers too, and for what? Actually, just for,
I like how it looks.
you know. and, I don't know.
It's an expensive look.
um, do we want to give them some guidance on the picture, what we want to see in lieu of the picture window?
Yeah.
I think we haven't been-
mentioned it, just a single casement would work.
We need to size, height, width,
Yeah,
all of that.
it would be-
The one shown here is for the print small, but
No, you can get a 4-foot or 52-inch wall, which are about 18 inches wide.
Looks very tall.
Yeah.
and it would be like a side light, the division, the mullions would be like this. So it'd be, so in other words, you got horizontal mullions, probably six lights,
Yeah.
all in a line vertically.
Right.
And
Yeah, they're standard.
52 inches high by 18 inches wide.
You know, they're in the catalogs for Anderson.
I think it would look very nice, actually. So what do you think? You on board with this?
Yeah, I mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we have the thing for me to write the
What about the siding?
which,
Oh, is the siding?
Yeah, what about because we
We're gonna
wanna,
change.
yeah, we wanna
Take
remove
the brick wall,
sorry?
The brick.
the brick and the vinyl siding on the front.
Yeah, because we have this,
And you put
the plastic one.
Yeah, white cedar shingles all
Yeah,
nice,
over. It's fine.
yeah, because
nice.
the.
No, I agree. That's a big upgrade to my way of thinking.
Oh, no, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
All
Oh,
right.
yeah, another thing I want to mention, the roof of the porch. I don't know if we write down, but we want to see if we use copper.
I don't think that would work here. Just,
Over the front door.
Yeah, the roof, yeah.
you know,
No, I mean, it's not polished copper,
I
it
know
will,
what you mean.
yeah, it'll be like,
I think you're better off use the same
Oh,
shingle.
same shingles.
All right. Okay.
Okay,
I do, can I use, thank you. All right, so let's see. This is not our usual meeting room, so we're trying to make do with what we have.
There's a new house on Pine Street that has a metal roof over a small area. But it's a completely different design house.
yeah,
It's a contemporary design. But in keeping with historic shapes and sizes and stuff. So it fit there. And it's not out in the front either,
okay,
on the side. Good.
So I'm writing up these amendments and then I'm going to read it to you and then we're going to vote on it.
How long have you had your house? Couple of years?
Oh, no, June.
Yeah.
Oh, you just
Yeah.
got it.
just a couple months.
So, yeah. when I would look at a house that I was thinking of buying, I would figure out what would I do to it if I bought it? And if it was too much, I said, we'll find a better one.
Oh, the market was really tough
Yeah,
this year. Like,
everything was selling.
I think we placed bids on how many? Like 10 places at least.
Definitely a seller's market, although it's calmed down, but it's still up there.
Yeah.
Okay, so do I have to, no copper on the roof?
No, we won't do it.
Okay.
We don't have to spell
It's
out.
not even on that, okay.
Something you can like.
So-
write very well.
White flag
So
over,
here-
we
here-
surrender.
So here's what I'm proposing to be adjudicated by the other two, all double hung windows to be 6/6. The picture window to be changed to a 6 vertical light casement window, 52 inches high by 18 inches wide.
Okay.
Correct?
Yeah.
And eliminate the cupola. So good with that? All right, so I move to approve
I'll
the
second.
application as amended.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Sounds
I hope you're happy. I
Yeah.
think it's gonna be really nice.
Yeah, no, definitely. As long as I remove that plastic thing from the front. of the
Oh,
house.
that's great. I'm all for that.
Yeah.
All for that.
All right.
Have a good night, guys.
Thank
Thank you.
Good luck with it.
And don't steal our pens.
Oh, no, this was my pen.
Good luck with it.
Take care.
Big project.
You have to wait 10 days, before you get started. Come back and you should have the certificate ready for you.
All right.
All right.
Sounds
Okay,
good.
thank you.
guys.
Good
Thank
night.
Good night.
Okay, what do we have? Easy Street. 24 Easy
Are
Street.
you ready?
Yep.
Oh, do we have a paper to sign?
This is of understanding.
We need, we sign a paper after we finish each
Is the
application.
application?
We sign here, on this page? Front page? Oh, we
Yeah,
don't
that's
have
what we
that
used to
front
do. We
page.
used to sign
All
on the
right, well, let's
application.
see, it's not on the front of this one.
Oh, I might not have included it in all the copies.
Oh, this is good.
That's on the next one. I think, yeah.
Oh,
So I don't see one on this one. We can do it. Can you get one later maybe, and we'll do it later?
Okay.
All right.
So you're ready for 24 18th Street?
Yeah.
We're gonna use 24 18th Street.
so- Gentlemen,
Oh, yeah, good.
oh, this is big buildings.
Big building.
Yeah.
And just so you know, we are being recorded. I gotta tell you.
My name is Richard Gagnon, I'm the chairman of the committee. Paula, longtime members.
I'm Rob, this is Steve. Owners of the property,
Uh,
owners of the property.
Yep. What is the acreage there? Is that 4?
2.5 acres total.
So these are steel buildings, they're both the same color, right? Gray, ash gray. Need floodlights outside. Yeah,
Yeah.
You put the light where you need it, not all over the place.
I'm sorry.
It puts the light where you need it, not all over.
Yeah, it's like to go over the contract, the door and the bays
Yeah.
and, you know, it's a very small parking lot,
Mhm.
about 20 feet
Right.
deep, so. But they cover just that area.
Yeah, it's all downlighting.
Yeah,
outward lighting.
right.
And this is a commercial area down by the ferry terminal.
It seems to be on the, Google Earth.
I'm sorry?
Tried looking it up on Google Earth. Is this,
It's undeveloped,
Random
so you
road.
wouldn't be able to tell that.
so you can't put any address, because there's no address there yet. So it's-
Not yet, was it Zero Easy Street? Is that the one I'm thinking of?
It was at one point,
Okay,
that probably was on the market for a long time. Probate for a while and then finally it sold, it was subdivided.
yeah, yeah.
What's your plan for for this building?
Undecided, we may build them and sell them, or we may keep them and lease them, we're just not sure yet. So build an apartment and Board of Health made it clear that any tenants would have to go through them for their approval.
Yeah. The interior is not subdivided, is it?
Yeah.
They are between each of these doors or a couple of doors.
The larger building is subdivided into 7 individual bays. Smaller building is not. So
So you can get one company and you can get one company in that smaller building.
Correct.
that's the intent.
I don't suppose there's any point in asking if there are any abutters out there.
You never know. See? I mean, I can do it too.
Yeah, you could certainly have.
But we really have to ask.
Yeah, nobody living there.
It's
so
no.
Anywhere around.
No. Okay.
I move to approve.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
aye.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you.
Have a nice early night.
Thanks.
Never know.
Yes. Hill Lane.
15 Oak Hill, are you guys ready for that?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
How far off from where the original house was and that woman sold the property to you? The owner of 15? How far back is that house gonna be? Like how long is the driveway? 100 feet?
More.
Well, that's 200.
We're like
130,
140.
Yeah, right away back.
Yes, it is.
And are you Greg and Jean?
Yes. We're representing ourselves as owners, and I'm a builder by trade. Howard. Reside in Brewster.
This is an artist rendering of what it will look like,
Somewhat.
somewhat.
It's a picture of the existing house. Doing tomorrow.
Made some changes to the plans.
Investing a lot of resources into plantings.
Yes,
Nice,
nice selection.
nice.
A lot of boulders on the property, which we intend to use for.
You've got them all along the drive of the street already. You're gonna continue that look or?
Yeah, that was just to make sure I could at least get in there and check out the property, because I didn't drive in there before. So pretty bad, so. I can't finish anything until I get the utilities and stuff like that in there. Get started. doing my deal.
I don't remember seeing what the hardy board is.
Yeah,
What color?
that's gonna be white.
Oh,
I don't think I'm gonna use hardy board. It says on the plan, I was planning on using New Zealand pine and just painting it white for that. And then the clapboard will be red cedar painted white. And then the shingles the rest of the way around with bleach oil shingles.
it's just grayish.
Yeah, not a sample. I have it in my truck.
I know if you're using.
Pretty common.
Habits.
Yeah, well, I do it pre-tip. They're made by Hvac
Oh, yeah.
company. If they're still making them.
Are you gonna have that decorative molding up on this?
No, the new plan doesn't show that.
If Kingsway recently used the one.
I think that's beautiful. I love that.
I know where I think, I wouldn't mind doing it maybe just in the front, but I just wasn't sure. Kind of going over budget, so I'm trying to make some couple of cuts, but I think it would kind of look nice in the front. We might do something. It came on the plan and showed you exactly how to build it, what dimensions and all that stuff.
So the windows are 2x2.
Yes. Everything. There'll be black on the outside. Marvin listed on the plan. I'm thinking about changing to Anderson, but I'm not sure. Be the same look.
Right.
Exactly. The lead time and the cost of one issue.
Yeah, Robin has some kind of specialty windows, with a glider,
Yes, yep,
things like that, which you can't get anywhere else.
right. That's why I think we're gonna use that in the back.
Are you gonna see any neighbors or are they gonna see you when you're all done? I don't think so.
The road,
Yeah.
Conservation.
From the air.
So
So
this
Joan
is,
and Robert Gonzalez, when we bought the property.
yeah, there's close by.
so you put the, change the garage.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, I guess we should ask about abutters, but they're not gonna be out there.
I don't think there are. Just the woman that is in number 15, right?
Right.
Right.
You could drive to ask this formality.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are there any butters? No.
No. Okay,
Yeah, I think this we put into the computer, so I spent part of the this afternoon blowing it up so I could read the fine print. So
Okay. It's very nice.
I think it's very, very nice. I move to approve.
I'll second it.
The air conditioning unit is actually gonna be on the opposite side from where it is now. Have to talk with the HVAC guy, but that's the only change on the outside.
usually people put go to Denver or something.
Yeah, there'll be those
Which is,
pictures.
but not to block the airflow.
white, blue, and blue, perennial geraniums.
Okay,
It's the tree.
I'm sorry, did you take a formal vote?
no,
First?
we haven't.
Okay.
It was
Then I can miss
seconded,
it, okay.
it was seconded,
I moved, Paula seconded.
all in favor?
I,
Aye.
I
Great, thank you.
don't forget to mention about changes, if they want to make any changes.
If you're gonna make any changes, let us know in advance.
Okay,
I usually go out and check houses. When they're working on them, the framing is about done. You know, at which point they've got all the windows in place and doors. And occasionally I'll go out and find 6 additional windows in different places. And we'd like to know that in advance.
what about if I change from the Marvin to Anderson
I
windows?
don't think that's.
Yes, not
So
an
it's the
issue.
same layout.
Yeah,
No,
Okay.
right. Typical, the window sizes are very
Any color
similar.
change or anything?
They're black.
Right.
Now, do you have one to sign there, Paula or Richard?
yes, we have one, yes, we have one on this one. We can sign.
did we sign the last one?
No,
Okay.
This is not a normal environment.
No.
so running there.
Start the last one. I have a form. Let me go ahead.
Good, yeah. It is.
Oh, you gonna throw in solar panels?
Actually, you know, we have a form that we would normally have you sign saying that you won't make any changes. Have, okay. And the elder signs it and the chairman signs it.
Okay.
So we
Yeah.
do it in a formal sense.
Right.
Will I leave here with anything to submit with my building permit application, or do you guys send that over?
Well, they have to stamp stuff. and
Okay.
everything.
Yeah.
With the department. And then they'll get them to you. They'll probably call you.
Okay, oh,
I don't have these.
so you guys don't bring it to the building department? I can bring it.
You're done with us, pretty much.
So our administrative interact with.
Keep those.
Oh, nice project.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thanks.
It's a thing, you know,
We'll get it one way or another.
Yeah.
I can get it. Yeah. Yeah. It's all okay. Then just the 12th.
good.
All
All
set?
set.
You're all set.
Thank you very much. Hope your night's not too long.
We do too.
Do I detect an accent?
I don't know, do you?
Just the way you said that.
Take care.
Good
Thank you.
night. See ya.
Okay, we'll do 55 Marsh Side Drive. Solar panels.
I guess we should let.
Yeah. Do you guys, where do you guys want to stay?
I'll stand.
Alan's got a whole team here.
Yeah,
You want to stand? Okay. Hello, how are you?
I appreciate it.
You're just so tall, it's just especially.
Can I just get your names for the record?
Sure, my name's Ally.
Your last name?
Oh, sorry, Vasquez.
And you?
Yasmin,
With Y or J?
Yasmene.
Oh, pretty.
My last name, you ready for this
Okay.
one? Baderelden.
And how do you say it?
Yasmin Baderelden.
Nice. And
Foster, Foster.
Mhm.
Last name Bratz, Braatz.
thank you.
Thank you.
This is the front view of this house, right? There's a lot of shrubbery and trees around.
That's
Can they be up on the top of this roof?
That's right.
No, but I have
Letters.
We
I
have
letters.
all kinds of letters.
Actually, letters from the 5 people that I contacted. One of them just emailed me today. She's out in Indiana. They have a family crisis right now, but they wish us luck. And the only other one is the Crosby's right across, and Solar Wolf gave them a proposal. So they're obviously, they've already said that they're in complete okay with it. And the rest of them, these are letters from them. And I also got a hold of our association, and they sent my information off to the board, and the board is all okay with it.
Oh,
And they
good.
also wished us luck. And his response is one of those letters there as well.
Good.
How many houses in the neighborhood currently have solar panels visible from Marshside Drive or from Chase Garden Lane?
There's one property that's not actually in our development, but it's on Nottingham going into our development. Nottingham is the only road that actually goes into our development. It's not a through development. There's 2 cul-de-sacs.
I see
And
that.
I have, I kind of drew this out. This is our development. The road comes in and there's 2 cul-de-sacs. This is our house. And this is the house as you come up Nottingham.
Right.
And then you have the other 2 as well.
Yeah, the other 2. This one is very close to our house. It's a block off of 6A on Hokenoff. And it's on the front of the house. It's exactly 1 block off of, and then it's on Conservation Drive. And then this house is about a block and a half off of 6A at the corner of, it's 62 Cromwell, Canterbury and Cromwell.
It's one of the first ones that we.
Yeah, this was several years ago. This one I think is
15
about
years
5
ago.
years ago, 6 years ago on
Yeah.
this one. We don't have, there's very, very little through traffic to our development.
Right,
I mean, it's basically people that live there and landscapers or pool people doing the cleaning the pools or whatever.
oh. We have 2, 4, 5 letters here for the record. Yeah, you know, there's a lot of trees in the front and shrubbery and so on that breaks it up. So as you drive down, it doesn't immediately hit you in the face, you know, solar panels.
Well, and the other thing too, if I may interject, as you come down the street, the way our roofs are, you don't, the way the
Until
roof,
you get in front of it.
yeah, you've got to be right in front of it, and then you have to look up to see them. It's,
What number are Claire and Kevin Hart at?
Could you show us the picture of the house? I don't have that in my packet.
It's in there. I just-
they're on Chase Garden.
I'm just seeing artist renderings. I'm not seeing any photos.
You're in our driveway when you're
I don't have any photos.
They're not part of the record or application.
I have-
Do you have a photo of the actual house?
Yeah. Sort of-
Not in my packet.
sort of,
Yeah, that's,
All right,
that's,
so Doty,
that's me. That's my nickname.
this is you, Doty?
Doty is
Yeah,
my nickname.
that's her nickname.
Yeah, everybody calls me.
And Beth is,
That
Neighbor.
lives, they live
This is the
right next to
photograph.
us. They're on Marsh side.
Right.
And there's quite a bit of trees between our property and their, you can't even see their house.
here and that's the one that is in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Can you pass those down, Paula, so I
The
can
letters.
when you're driving down.
stamp them into the record? Because we haven't seen them in the
When you're
office,
driving
so
down, it's
if you want them to be
table
part of the
blocks
application,
you view.
kind of like
It's right
incorporate them.
in front of the house.
Mhm.
You don't see anything. Same thing. Coming the other way. Same thing.
Here we go, one picture. Are you through with the letters, Paula?
I am through. Not only am I done, but I'm finished.
We have 2 more, like,
3, we have 1 table.
oh, that's right. 105.
That's right.
Of course, this is not everybody.
Well, those are only the people that I solicited, because of the ones that right next to us, I didn't know I had it. If I could have very easily gone to everybody,
Yeah.
and I think they'd be fine.
we were more,
Those are
concerned
people that are directly related to, you know, their.
we were more concerned with our butters.
Yeah, the people that are right next to us and right across the street from us.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is that all 5?
They're,
Direct abutters?
yeah, I have both the people on either side of us. I have 2 people across from us. And then where our driveway is, because we're on a corner, I contacted the people across from us on the driveway. They don't even face the front of our house.
See, the thing is, playing devil's advocate for a minute. It's very hard for people to say no when you solicit them. To say, is it okay if we do solar panels? Nobody wants to be a Grinch and say, no, it's not okay with me. I mean, there are people who do that, but they are, I suspect, in the minority. We have discussed in this, among this group, I've forgotten how you phrased it, Mr. Chairman, but solarized neighborhoods. And maybe that's what this will become. You're the Vanguard property. So I suspect that what will happen if we approve this application is that others will either follow suit or just suffer in silence and say, well, that's just what happened.
Well, they pointed out that the neighbor across the street already has been talking to you.
Yes, that's right.
So-
And his solar is actually in a good position as well. So he's the one that would directly see the solar and he's completely okay with it to the
Right.
point where he even wants it.
And Paul
And no one will
Aaron-
be suffering because they're, were verbal about the fact that they were okay with it. And you have to take people at their word, right? We can't assume that they're liars.
Yeah, and I mean, Paul and Aaron, those are the other people that are right next to the Crosbys. So they're across the street from us, but a kind of little kitty corner. He said, listen, he said, once you guys get your panels installed, he said, I want to pick your brain because I'm thinking about it. And we got
And same way
the
with
same.
the butlers across the street, they
Yes.
said the same thing.
Yes.
They also said to me, depending on how things go with you guys, we might consider doing it at some point as well. But
And as you see, this community is so far off any public roadway. This is not a public roadway. This is very private, that no one that's going to be traveling in this area is not going to, they're not going to come here for any reason.
Especially with those two east-west roofs protecting that middle center for you guys to actually.
They're not going to see them.
With the array being a true black, I mean, it's not really gonna catch your eye.
Yeah.
There's
Good. So, motion,
I move to approve.
For the sake of the vote, I'll second.
okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
So, you've got,
is it
We've
approved?
got it? It is. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
now don't start until after. We have to register it with the town clerk.
Yes.
It'll take a couple of days.
Okay.
Then you have to wait 10 days, appeal period, before you start anything.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Sometimes there's like a little table there.
I got one.
you guys are making our nights.
Yes.
We're gonna be home at like 2 a.m. So thinking our morning. So
Doesn't it say signature of owner?
Okay.
That would, I think is you, right? Yeah,
I think that's us.
I know Solar signs a lot of stuff, but you should be aware, because a lot of times, sometimes there's confusion over what's been done.
They're probably-
For your next three anyway.
Oops, this is my. Yes. All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
All right, we will be in touch.
Yes. Thank you.
Have a good night. I hope you're
Yeah.
safe.
Thanks.
Oh, yes. Oh, he doesn't have to sign and say that.
So there's you guys.
Thanks. So that's the signed one. Bob did not sign because he abstained.
It's funny how like something.
Which ones did you say are gonna be here tonight on this? You couldn't find somebody and one is on another? Old Church Street, we haven't heard anything from. 105 Sister Circle, we haven't heard anything from.
No.
Eileen Street is gonna be the 25th. And Pheasant Cove Circle is here. That's Jay Frapery.
Move to 25th.
Right.
And what was the last thing you said?
The 36 Pheasant Cove, he's here. Jay is here, so you'll see.
Alright, so we've got,
Are we ready for Belvedere?
I think so, yeah.
So the homeowners here with you?
I haven't seen them, no.
Make sure everybody's safe.
Not here?
That,
Okay, so it's
I believe
Ally
that
asked
the
me-
design has changed just slightly. Sorry. Where the ones that we had seen, the array was here, but
moving it to the house was able to hide it a little bit more from that street. And we were able to make that change with them.
I don't even have.
Hide how? What do you mean?
What was that?
You said hide from the street. You're making a change.
So if you see here, we just are
This one,
moving
that
those
doesn't show the
panels
change.
to the house
You just put it in-
side
Okay.
instead.
Same roof.
And are
Okay,
they gonna eliminate these and put them over here?
Correct, yep.
So the change is gonna put them closer to Center Street. Is that correct?
It'll bring them closer to the street, but it'll be harder for you to see on this.
Because of the
road.
trees?
Right.
Be protected by the two groups of trees on your right and your left.
Which I heard they were gonna cut down tomorrow, so.
that's actually
That'll
not
eliminate
entirely a
that,
joke. That happens. That's the problem with trees. They have a way of disappearing.
I'm sure you guys have seen all types of stuff.
Yeah, trees have a way of disappearing.
Would someone need to come to you before they were to cut trees anyway?
No, you need, no,
Mhm.
unless, I don't know, unless the chapter house did, so.
Right. That was, because it was on 6A.
Right. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, from my experience, I've seen a lot of people actually talking about how they come before for tree removal, but
Phone.
Oh, no. That's always a bummer. You get excited.
Ever to load.
really,
Well, this is a much more sensitive location than the last application.
And
Center Street is
they, you know,
on the north side of 6A, very historic.
We did put it on the back of the house, in order to prevent anyone from the street. seeing it.
I don't know if you need this, it's an alternate design.
and it's the alternate design that you're trying to get approved, or is it you'll take either one?
Honestly, I believe it's perfectly okay with either, but the alternate is the more preferred.
So they'll have to just decide which one they approve. Or, no,
Or not.
What's the difference between them in terms of output?
For output, so this one has an 87.1 solar access,
looks like that.
and this one has a 92.2, so about 5%.
That's because of the position of the trees.
Correct. Trying to hide it behind the trees causes a little more shading.
Yeah, you guys can actually see it in the color differential between that roof line on this side versus the other one over there.
Yeah.
So the lighter color obviously would be better. Sorry, nothing.
Oh, no. Fine. Would you like to see this one?
Just another copy of it. Right?
Mhm.
I saw you, Bill. I don't know if you want a copy of it as well. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, actually, I have this. This is the one you would like to. have
That's
us-
the one that we thought was gonna be more favorable to your board.
Is this the one that you desire, or
Yeah.
it is?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is- I'm sorry. This is for you.
My hand signals aren't the best. Right?
And these are deciduous trees, correct? That has some bearing on our decision. Because if they lose their leaves in the winter, then the concealing aspect is moot.
Oh, that's actually really cool.
Those look like they're trees.
It is a mix on the right side. It appears that there's a lot of vines on the left side when you're looking at the street view, which actually could help with the.
Would you say they're arborvitae's?
No, I don't think. they're-
No, it looks like there's trees with some vines on it. Feel free to take a look. But it seems to correspond with what you guys were talking earlier about keeping the foliage and the green on the right-hand side as you guys are driving. down the street. I'm probably just as good as you are with that thing, so I have no idea.
If only mine would come up, it would be beautiful. So,
I'm willing to work with you guys. I try to look at
Yeah, it
Google
does
Maps
look like
too.
some of them do,
Google
but some of them do not lose them.
So it is a combination on this right side over here, Harry, you
Yeah.
are right, because there's a little bit of bushes and some shrubs that are evergreens. So
So would it be better to move it further away to conceal them even more?
I still like it on the main house, from looking at the street view over there, just because as you drive up, you're not, it doesn't appear as though you would see it on the right-hand side or left-hand side, depending on which way you're coming from, because of the green being on the front and the back of the right. So
Yeah, you definitely wouldn't see it coming this way.
Is the
Yeah.
roof pitch the same on the garage and the house?
well, that's a good idea.
Pitch 34 on the garage.
I
And
was
So it's not going to be
looking
the
for it,
second right. This one.
yeah, so 34 is the
It's
for
the
both.
same.
Oh, perfect. I don't
well,
really
you
see it.
certainly can't see it right now, but it's hard to know what these trees are.
They look like deciduous trees to me.
Well, there's these two pines right here. Sort of right where the,
Well, I'm just looking at this.
Pride
I'm not
watch.
looking.
Yeah, I'll pass my phone around after.
yeah, here, Richard,
Sorry, I only have one.
those two pines,
Fosters.
they're pretty
I
tall.
know. It's all time to get rid of the phone. Yeah, no, very tall trees up front too. So, okay,
There's a lot of underbrush too.
yeah, absolutely.
Well, I guess it'd be a good time to ask if there are any abutters for this one.
Pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, from the street view, you really can't see it at all. It's pretty nice.
No butters?
No butters.
So you're hoping to argue for minimum visibility? That's where we're going.
Correct.
And that, of course, is a matter of interpretation. And it could be seasonal or minimal in the summer.
What else I like about this array, if I may add something,
Sure.
is that it's a smaller array and more angled towards the center of the house. So there's not going to be like a huge solar array that you guys are going to see that's going to take up the whole house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it is very tasteful being centered and
And then once
Yeah,
you get
there's,
up there,
there's only 10
Yes.
solar panels.
10 solar panels on a 2x2 or a 2x5. Yeah, so it's neat.
Yeah. When I'm driving around on this is Long Pond Drive,
Yeah.
there are several along there, but they've got 20 solar panels on it.
Yeah,
It's like a 3x8 array.
Yeah. And these are really the arrays that I look for, because there's not any vent pipes obstructing it or, having it looking all staggered. To me, these are very tasteful. If you start to look at some of the ones with some of the vent pipes, it becomes a little less, but I still understand the environmental benefits of everything. You know what I mean?
So just 10 panels, is that what we're talking about?
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. And a true black as well. So they don't have any of the, silver lines in the front. I'm sure you guys are familiar with the panels at this point.
And they'd be more efficient on the house than on the garage?
Actually more efficient
Yeah.
on the garage.
Yeah, more
Than on
efficient.
the house.
The garage is set back further from Center Street, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
But your assessment is they're less visible on the house than they would be on the garage.
Yeah, and if you guys look at the street view.
Is that because of the pitch?
No, it's
No,
through
it's the
here.
same pitch. It's
See,
just
if
that
you
they're a
look
little
through
bit
here.
more.
If you look through this space,
Mhm. So we're predicating it on these trees,
yeah,
which are deciduous.
if they're big, and
Okay.
nobody's gonna tear them down anytime quick.
And some of them are, so some of them will not. Their bountifulness and.
Yes, the lower ones to the ground where people are walking or driving will actually remain, full throughout the seasons.
Yeah.
I don't know the bigger word for that. I'm sorry.
It's good.
I have a problem with this house only to the extent that it is far closer to 6A and the historic homes there than the one we just did.
Yeah, I think it's a very
I mean,
different
that was
application.
So far in that, a horse and carriage would go in there.
Right.
But,
Do you have a Google
Yeah, absolutely.
feature of
So you
that
have two
section?
different roof planes that we can work with.
So what
whichever
I
one
have
that
right
you
now
think
is just
would
a
be
street
safe
view.
best.
So you're welcome to go up and down and
I'd like
actually
to
take a
see,
look at the
like,
home over here.
8 arborvitae's go up
So-
that are mature. That's what I'd like to see.
Looking down on it
That
to
could be
see
a
the
possibility.
streets.
That's
They
definitely
have to
something.
be mature though.
If you give,
can't put 4
if
footers
you give me one
You can't
moment,
put
I
8
will be
footers.
able to do that.
You'd have to go with 12 footers at a minimum.
I'll be with you.
And, if that's worth it to the homeowner, then arborvitae's are really the only true tree that shields
Right.
anything from view.
Mhm.
And if she got like 8 and line them up behind this stuff, like along that side of the house, then I think, the problem would be it
Mitigated.
might take a year or two for them to grow.
Yeah.
Because I've got them. I put them in 2014 and they've grown 7 feet
Wow.
since
Oh
then.
my God.
The
So
problem
those-
with screens is that they're fine while they're there. But trees die or homes get sold, new owners decide they don't want the trees and cut them down. And then you've got high visibility where you didn't have high visibility before. So I'm always leery of saying, well, if you screen this out, then you won't see them.
We shouldn't, deny someone from getting it because 10 years down the road.
No, there's no way to predict. That's my point. You don't know what, even if we were to say, well, we'll approve this with the amendment that you add however many arborvitae trees to provide an adequate screen.
Yeah, okay. This is fine.
There's no assurance they're going to remain there. That's the problem. And this is a very sensitive area that we're discussing now.
And I totally understand what you're saying, and not to cut you off. A lot of the people that are going solar are going solar for the environmental benefits. So I think it is safe to assume that these people aren't the types to go ahead and cut down a bunch
Well,
of trees.
That may be. And that, I'm glad you brought that up because I always
Sorry,
feel
we'll pull it right back up.
when I don't go along with applications for solar panels that I'm fighting efficient energy and environmental considerations, and that's far from the case. I'm very environmentally conscious, but that's not our role here.
Oh,
Our role is appropriateness and in setting, and And I'm very concerned about that in this particular location.
So if there was something that would be done that you would be okay with, is there anything?
Well, it's very difficult with that house with the orientation of the roofs, proximity to Church Street.
Center Street.
And the fact that the trees are deciduous.
We approved the one on Center Street 4 or 5 years ago on the left side driving down. And they're on the side of the house. These are on the back of the house. And you didn't see them because there's so many trees.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
So
And they're also, you know,
And that was before my tenure on this board. Sorry.
it was quite a while ago. I'd say about 5.
Yeah.
You've been doing this for 10 years?
Say what?
You've been doing this for 10 years?
No, that was before my tenure, is what I said.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't there 5 years ago. I wasn't on this.
I've been doing it for 25.
Yeah.
Have you really? That's awesome. I'm sorry, we all have really met.
The cast of characters, with the exception of the chairman, changes. It's not a revolving door, but this committee is, we're all volunteers.
That's awesome.
And we don't, all of us remain to the extent that the chairman has.
Yeah, I don't think this is any more visible than the one that we approved along on this side.
Oh.
It was that in the same vicinity, but on the left side. So I don't have a problem myself.
I find these decisions very difficult
Yeah.
because it is the way of the future. There's no question about it.
Mhm. Yeah, we're rooting for the day when these panels evolve to the point where they're
Point that you can't see
invisible.
them.
You don't
they
see
make
them at
those
all.
roofs now that
No.
they say aren't as efficient,
Yeah.
but they're certainly far better looking than these things. You hope in the next 5 years they'll come up with something.
Yeah,
that-
well, they already have come up with individual shingles. The argument against them is that they're very expensive.
Yeah.
Price will come down over time.
Yes.
They're also, I'm sure you're aware of, entire solar roofs.
Yeah.
So that there's no separation between individual panels. And those can be aesthetically more pleasing depending on where they are, what the color is and the texture. So,
They're not as efficient and definitely much more expensive.
yeah,
so.
all that will get better over
Yes.
time.
A lot of them-
I'm
a lot of us
100%
are
a spec guy.
In their 80s. and
When it comes to a lot of this.
out of what
So
they have
allowing the
and
airflow is really what they
save
look
on
for
their
arrays like
electric
this
bill.
versus those.
Mhm.
So hopefully
And,
one day, and I
we
think
did
one day
everything we
we will,
could to
but
provide 2
in
different
my
options.
prediction, I don't see
The
it really
garage
soon,
and
just because that's a hard thing
with the
to
tree
to
shade.
be tackled, you know what I mean?
And they're willing to
But-
accommodate,
I've seen a lot of arrays where this looks
especially
very
with the mixture
tasteful,
of the
you know?
trees, I
Mhm.
think, in different seasons.
Mhm.
I think it's a very strong case as well.
And trust me, I'm not blind either. I totally understand when
Yeah.
an array doesn't look good.
Well, given the recent history, if we vote to deny this application, Solar Wolf will appeal. So that's an inevitability that we're facing now. But that should not influence us, in my opinion.
So in the, the information about these OKH reviews is that one of the requirements is that it's minimally visible. Which
Mhm.
I feel like we're meeting that requirement.
It's
It doesn't have
it's
to
a
be
matter,
visible.
the act is, I think, purposely vague to allow for interpretation. So that's a matter of interpretation.
In this case, it's on the back of the house. And mostly we're interested in how it changes the architectural appearance of the front of the house. Because even when you're going out to buy a house, you look for a house that has curb appeal.
Mhm.
And that's the front of the house typically. That's what you first see. That's your first impression of the house. You don't go down the street, look at the back, and
That's right.
you like it in the front, you go in, check out the inside,
Totally agree.
and this is clear. So it's a nice, it's good orientation relative to the sun. Pointing essentially,
There's very,
not quite true, maybe 15 degrees off, but pretty close.
Very good production.
There are very few homes that qualify for solar and have it on the back of the house.
Yeah.
As you saw, a lot of them have to go in the front. This is one of those that actually meets those requirements, being with trees as well.
in addition, there's very good exposure here. Honestly, I sold the system today in Rhode Island. The exposure wasn't the same, so these are far and few between. And very little that could be done to actually improve this as far as removing trees or anything. So
They were determined.
it wouldn't influence homeowner to remove trees or anything along those lines because it already gets such great exposure.
Well, I'm going to step up and be a Grinch. I move to deny.
So no second.
Well, look at the age of the house and the historic value of the house.
Never have to double check.
Would you like another?
For me, if this were closer to the cemetery, you know, where Center Street and Old Church come, they form that V and you got the cemetery there. For me, it's splitting hairs, I know, but to me, that's the truer historic area. I don't know how far you have to go. I know it goes all the way to the water on the north side, but
Well, there are a cluster of houses further down before you make the bend to go to the beach.
Oh.
That on the right side and left side are historic and one right at the turn. But otherwise, they're just normal houses built
So if
in
you
the
want to look at
50s and
this.
60s, 70s.
yeah, I finally got it.
Finally.
It only took 10 minutes. Uh,
Seems to be like you have to really look for it in order to see the back.
Yeah.
I mean, if it took that long to.
I know.
I'd only vote for this if there was some certainty that she put mature arborvitae's in, irrespective of whether somebody cuts them down in 10 years. I mean, you can't think that far ahead, but that would be my stipulation. And if you would agree to that amendment, I would vote okay. I would vote yes.
Okay. And how do you feel about this?
Well, wait a minute. You need more specific. How many trees? How tall?
Well, I just spoke to her. They have to be at least 14 feet tall. Because I know in 2 or 3 years.
I think
they'll
we
be
need, I
25
think
feet
if we're
tall.
gonna, my personal opinion is if we're going to stipulate trees, we'll need to see a landscape plan. So I could withdraw my motion and move to table the application subject
To the
to
next meeting.
a landscape plan.
Yeah, you'd end up going to the next meeting, but
Well, that would be useful, I think, because we'd have more members.
yeah.
It's a little uncomfortable with only 3 of us sitting here.
And also, we're really limiting the number of applications at a meeting. Because we have, this staff
We don't have
transition
somebody
going
who's
right
doing the
now.
job.
So we would pick a date by which we'd have to have the landscape plan. I mean, if we don't have it, then we can continue again. But we would want to pick a date tonight for them to come back. And not just have it kind of tabled and rolling over, because then we lose track of
Right,
things.
well, it's the 12th. And I assume the next meeting's already
Right. Choice would be November 8th, November 22nd, or December 13th.
November 8th.
So I'll withdraw my motion and instead substitute a motion to table the application pending
A landscape
No,
plan.
a landscape plan.
No, please, to a date certain, which you said November 8th. you want?
November 8th.
Okay, table to November 8th. And as I said, they'd have to be mature.
Well, yeah, I think you know what you want.
I mean, there's no sense putting 4-foot trees in if it's gonna take 15 years. My trees were 12 feet tall. And I said they grew 7 feet, so, they're almost 20 feet tall now. And I can't even see the house next door. That's how full they get, but, in our position where we're trying to preserve the historic look of the neighborhood and solar panels, they're just not part of that equation, but I know it's where we're going. It's where we're going. And it breaks my heart that that's where we're going because I don't want to see these things on the roofs. But I honestly just don't think there's any way to stop it. I think for us, at least for me, and I'm new to this, but I want to see 6A pristine. And I'd like to see everything to the north water pristine. But again, if you can go in 3 blocks, 4 blocks and keep that area historic, it would be a step in the right direction. I don't want to just give free rein to this idea of solar panels. I'd like to still be able to control the historic area. I, for one, think the historic area is overbroad. But that would have to be discussed. Anyway, so we're gonna, you moved your
Well, I
motion,
moved.
and so we're gonna.
Well, has it been seconded?
That's the amendment that I would say, I don't know, you'd need probably 8, probably 10.
Where are you thinking of putting?
Right here, right along the side of this house, right behind this low brush. Right in, like in through here. And you wouldn't even, you only have to go to the middle of the house because once you get past the middle of the house, you're past where you can see them. So,
May I ask, I don't know anything about trees, but what is the average cost to put these?
they're expensive.
It's going to be expensive
They're expensive.
to mature trees.
And especially that size. But
We will absolutely need to discuss if it's actually worth it to them. Because it may not.
They're
be.
only putting up 10
They're
panels.
only putting up 10 panels.
putting up,
Well, is there a second to the motion?
Would it be best if we just move them farther away from the street? So even if you were driving past, you wouldn't even see it with the trees.
I guess a better question would be, is there a location on the house that you guys would prefer as the majority of the roof gets decent exposure?
I think if you ended up putting them on the garage, your coverage would be easier to do. If you were going to plant some trees because you've got a smaller area, it's further over. Even if you maybe even just 4 of those trees in a corner, like right here in their backyard.
Okay.
On
Absolutely.
either side of that garage, I think that would cover it.
Yeah.
And it would be further off the road.
I would appreciate, as few trees as possible, not in the sense that to cover.
I mean,
it,
obviously you don't want to block the sun because
Oh,
it defeats the
exactly.
purpose.
Exactly, because that
Um,
sun's gonna come up and tomahawk the sky, and in the winter it's gonna fall, so.
Well, I
mean,
think we'll
talking
leave it
about-
up to you to decide how you want to modify the application, but you understand what the sense is of 2 of the 3 members of the committee.
Okay.
For the tabled application, come back with something you think would be more acceptable.
I understand, yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
So I'll move to table the
And
application.
I'd second.
All right.
All those in favor,
I,
Aye.
I'll abstain.
Okay. Hopefully you can come up with something. It's no fun denying applications. I don't know if you have a full appreciation for that, but
I'm sure it's not fun.
Yeah.
It's harder to swallow when there are, it seems like it's meeting your standards and then it doesn't, but I understand that it's not easy on you either, so. I
yeah, I
understand.
mean, if she had a row of existing trees that were non-deciduous,
you got it.
Um,
Close enough.
that would be an existing barrier.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, come another month, that entire roof is gonna be visible.
Yeah.
And
So I can totally sympathize with what you guys are doing. On the flip side, with the homeowners not being present, we have to go and present this to the homeowners. And as you guys saw in the previous applicants, how excited they were to be able to go.
I
solar. So
know.
understand you guys don't like denying it. We-
No, not-
we hate giving the
I'm
news.
happy to do it
it's
for people that are that far out in left field.
Understand.
Really,
Understood.
anytime we can okay a solar panel application in an
Absolutely.
area that is out of the way,
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
And listen, I totally understand.
This is,
This one is finished, right? So it's February.
Right.
And
November
the
8th.
next one.
So if you can
Guys,
submit the
too.
plan
this
a week or
one,
so before November 8th, then we can add it to the application and distribute it to the members so that they have a little time to look it over before the actual hearing.
303.
That's very helpful, thanks. I say we're also transitioning, so the better organized we can be, the better. All right, so do we?
All right.
The homeowners here for this.
303.
I
Is this
do
you guys
appreciate you
again,
guys mentioning it.
303?
No, I'm just playing devil's.
No, you guys have got your jobs and we've got our job and hopefully they'll
Listen, never bad blood.
be compatible, but sometimes it doesn't work out that way.
No, and trust it. And
All
it's
right,
fun
thanks. We appreciate it.
because I like the way solar looks and I can understand someone else's opinion.
This is the host.
Yeah, we have a unique environment here.
We do have letters from the library, from all the abutters nearby as well.
Okay.
Now, I'm glad you brought that up because I got a phone call from someone who lives on 6A who is opposed to the application. So you see, you get people, you can stack the deck any way you want and get people who will line up and say, yes, let's do this. And you get other people, but often people are really, as I said in the previous application, people are reluctant to be.
The guy probably didn't get
Say no.
vaccinated either.
Yeah, 303.
303 is
And
right.
so where are they going on the
I'll
side
tell
of the
you what
barn?
it is
If you're
after the
facing, the, it's a garage.
The pillar of
If you're
our
facing the
community.
garage on the right side,
Oh, yeah.
Yes, they'll be on the side.
Which,
only one side, right?
They're not facing the street, they're
Yeah.
facing
you're facing the bigger backyard, right?
Right.
Oh, wait a minute. Have we introduced this application yet?
It's 303. 6A. Next to the library, behind me on the house. And
Also, we will be replacing the roof
You need to
to a
be
completely black roof as well. So they'll blend in perfectly.
Yeah, that's not running good pipes, too.
you need to be a bird.
Yeah, this is pretty good, right? You guys were talking about, you guys were talking about like the solar roofs and how clean you guys can make it. This is a prime example, in my opinion. So, I would say.
Yeah,
Are you 303?
Yes, ma'am.
It's my husband. It's my husband, yeah.
I didn't know if you were.
My roommate, well.
All right, so. This is the library. This is the house, this is this.
That's much.
this is 24 solar panels.
Mhm.
And so it's a bigger expanse, nice to put on the roof.
It would cover the west facing.
Be all set for 25 years, so.
Yes, sir.
I have 24 on my house. That
So-
lasts 10 years.
How's it working for you?
Good.
So I was talking tonight to a member of this committee who was not able to be here tonight. But he pointed out that these panels will be visible from the parking lot behind the library, which is a public way. So just reporting for the benefit of one of our members who couldn't make it.
Of course, as you probably know, the library is a privately owned institution.
Right.
And the parking lot is behind the library.
We do have a note, we do have a letter from the library.
Where is that letter?
Yeah, no, can you pass it out?
I sure do. These are the original letters that I've received from the adjoining homeowners. Mr. Marsano is the house directly behind us, and the letter from the library is the second in the staff.
Strawberry Lane guy, he's pretty far down.
Well, he's right behind that. He's right behind the garage.
Behind your garage?
Yes.
Really?
Mhm.
He's the better there.
And I have a copy for everyone. if you'd like.
We keep one set on file.
Dinah Wolf. Is she any relation to Wolf Solar Panels?
No.
No,
I know there's two Fs.
no, that's Les Pete's wife.
Yep.
Les used to sit on this committee.
Well, he's for it.
You have other copies?
Yes, sir. There you go.
That would be a.
So
What is it?
Ralph-
289.
He's on the other
Ralph
side.
is on the other side of the.
I know
library.
Ralph.
We're
So,
like-
Tony?
we call ourselves the bookends of the library.
Okay. And he says, "Oh, I'm not a great fan. I am not aesthetically pleasing.
I provided a survey of the property, as you see there. And the garage is set back over 180 feet from the,
And to get the
Educated.
panels to blend, with- if this is approved, we would be doing this on flat roof so that it would blend well with the panels. But
so we're willing to invest that as well.
So
I'm
you're
sorry,
you're
what,
doing the
invest?
roof over, you said.
In a new
if-
roof
if-
that's
if-
black,
If it gets approved,
so that it's,
we'll do
the
that
panels
first.
are less
Yeah.
noticeable.
You people just moved in, right?
2 years ago.
Oh, 2 years ago?
In
already?
June.
Into June, we moved in. Yeah.
Oh, it's nice house.
It is. Enjoy it very much.
Do you want those letters?
Do you know
for
Ralph?
the record?
Oh, yes.
I would think so. We can keep these.
Yes, those are the originals. I also have,
I
some
wouldn't
additional
take a copy if
copies.
you'd rather keep the originals.
it's up to you.
Okay. Do you need to stamp these?
Yeah.
Okay.
Letter from Dinah is very persuasive.
You're welcome to keep it.
I think I got the point. What are you thinking, Paula?
I'm thinking because they're on the right side of the barn of a garage facing west. And the library has no objections. You can't see them from the street. Uh, you know, it's, I'm trying to think of as many things as I can. I would. Okay. Again, I'm never happy with solar panels, but I think if you go out of your way to try to make them work. I think I can meet that. So I approve it. I would make. a
So
motion
just-
to approve.
I'll second, just to show myself to be a fair-minded
Good
man.
man.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank
Very
you
good.
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. You'll have a nice evening.
Thank you. You too.
And then, of course, you gotta apply for the roof.
Okay.
You might be able to go light to light. It's basically the same.
Is there a pool behind that house? Mario's?
Mario's back. But not on our,
Not yours.
that was never.
Yeah, a lot of work.
Here.
Did we do this one? Oh, this has been tabled, so we don't do this. This is the golf terrace.
Oh, that's fine. So it's me.
The filing deadline would be October 20th.
Is that a separate issue?
Well, I started that process. It's all set.
Okay.
I mean,
And I told
I
him.
would,
So do you know what?
I heard you say that you.
Do you know what agenda you're?
Assume you are.
So I was going to do a light roll.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Like, so I've started that process.
Okay,
And
all right.
Okay.
coming out to you.
Okay.
I don't think
Will that require a separate?
I don't think so.
If it's part
Not
of
if
this
it's really
resolution?
like, no, it's not gonna be part of this resolution. It's gonna be its own separate process. And in a like for like, the chairman usually reviews the information, the materials that are being proposed, and can sign off on it.
Okay.
But it would be a separate
Yeah, we're happy to pay
certificate
for the black.
entirely.
You know, certificate of exemption will come to me.
Okay,
It's black.
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
And that the
Very
reason
good.
we're doing the black is so that it blends in better.
Yep.
So, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Hey.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Our pleasure.
Is this one from before?
So should I see if we have anyone from 28? Old
There ought to
Church.
be a separate committee.
Yeah.
They're not here.
I wouldn't, I mean, you can ask, but they don't, we don't have any new material, so I don't know what there would be to talk about.
Is there anyone here from 28 Old Church Street? No, okay. 105 Sister Circle.
Okay.
105 Sister Circle.
Right.
Hi.
Hello.
Would you pull that up for me, please?
Oh, yeah. We can ask, we never phoned it together.
It's a 12.
Oh, really?
And the
iPhone?
GPS is 0.
That's an iPhone?
It is.
I don't mean to argue, but I can sense that.
Well, I got the
I've
iPhone
had
and it
iPhones
works.
forever and they've been perfect.
Have you?
Yeah.
I know. You know what's
Maybe
funny,
you
my
got the
last
defective
Samsung.
one.
Yeah, somebody else said that to me.
So Jason.
Yeah.
At the last meeting, there was a feeling that you're putting them on black roof or lower black. And it's on the front of the house and stands out. You can see it from all around. However, it's perfectly aligned with the sun and you should get really good efficiency.
Yep.
You would hate to see it not.
We're on the cul-de-sac, off another cul-de-sac.
And so we asked if you have any feeling talking to the neighbors in that area,
Yep, so,
how they feel.
so I wasn't at the last meeting. I was able to watch it on TV. And the board expressed a little bit of concern about people being hesitant to say no to people.
That sounds like
Go
something
and
I would
knock on
say.
their door and say,
Yeah.
hey, can you sign this for me, right?
Yeah.
So I went to the homeowners association and had them do the polling, had them do everything, so it was anonymous, and I wouldn't know what neighbor or anything. And they did that, and as the letter from the homeowners association states, came back unanimous approval. Nobody had any issues.
Unanimous approval of this project. Recommended installation.
So this is gonna become a solar community. solar neighborhood? Is that what we're
No,
calling
it
it?
won't, it won't, because
Oh,
a lot of the houses
would you
that
like
they're
an aerial
building,
view or
new
a street view?
houses,
street.
don't have roofs.
And when I hit that, it
Properly
goes back to
oriented.
zero. And
And when they came in.
to get to
before
100%,
us,
takes a half an hour.
I was always.
So the development's actually pretty new. There's no street.
I was there
view.
today. It was
So,
today.
yeah,
It was,
there's no
We
street.
did have a
view
couple of the
available, so
neighbors
it's-
ask me about the program
That's the
and
west
ask
side.
me,
So.
financials about it and everything that seemed interested, but
Yeah,
I'm not sure
but,
about it
yeah,
yet.
a lot of the houses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Thanks,
not
Sam.
oriented.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Well, for the sun.
I appreciate it.
It says that 98% solar access, so
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
perfect.
And I know it's right on the front and it's kind of a proud group, but I mean, I feel like the panels are pretty balanced on the roof. They're not scattered everywhere.
Yeah,
You
right.
know, I think the design looks good and it's almost that whole portion of the
Are
roof
they, are
there.
they gonna blend
Um,
into the roof?
It is a dual black roof.
Dual black.
I think that was the name of the color.
Sometimes they call them gray, similar.
Okay.
And as I mentioned, we are on a far away from any traveled.
Yeah,
road.
this is very similar to the woman on,
That's right.
whatever
It's
that.
actually even more secluded. You could say it's more secluded.
And if you're not going to your house, you don't drive by.
You have to really want
Half the people
to
in the
go
cul-de-sac
there.
Yeah.
the outside, So.
Are you the
There's only
last
4 or
house on
5.
that street? I'm trying to think. You
Uh,
go down Hampstead and can then go down Sisters, right?
Yeah, and it, where Sisters turns into the cul-de-sac, there's one on the corner there and on the next one.
Yeah.
Unanimous.
There you go.
So it says unanimous.
Is this
Yes,
this
you can
copy?
do that.
I have the original, but.
That's good.
So, motion on this,
I am, I'm gonna move for
I'll second it.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you guys.
Appreciate it. And now you're done with us for tonight. You don't have to
That's
see
too
our.
Oh, really? Oh.
I know it's not.
My heart's broken.
I know.
No, you-
Change anything, you have to
No,
let us.
no, you were all very pleasant. Thank you for
Down there,
that.
so you
And,
decide and take that.
and you won some.
Yes,
So
that
I
was
just
good.
wanna say
Thank you
thank you,
very much.
guys.
One more than you
Bye-bye.
lost. So
Thank
you
you.
haven't lost the other one yet. So.
Thank you.
We're still.
Thank you, sir. It was nice to meet you. I appreciate it.
Likewise.
Honestly, I had a blast, so. I'm sorry if I talked
It
too
is,
much.
No. If you'd like to join, move here and join this committee. So, yeah.
Listen, a few more of these, I'll be able to.
Then you'd have.
Good night.
All right, guys, we'll see you.
Okay.
Have a good one.
Good night.
Did we have somebody from 36?
We do.
We do.
Yes, yeah. Yep.
Oh, they want to do the double addition up and lower. Do you need to sign this before? Hold on.
The one you
Yes.
approved, yeah.
Okay. Hello. Good.
This is- Oh, yeah.
Good, how are you?
Tired yet?
Outside. That ship's already there.
Okay, sorry about that.
Well, this is a lower amount. Right? Is that what you're doing? Sunroom and then a room above. Yeah.
It's really, yeah, it's just the deck on the top and it's dormer out too. so the deck.
It's getting sunny.
I
know, I was outside all day today.
Look,
Off of
Doing my little storage shed.
Down
Almost
Almost
dark.
So you're
Yeah.
taking the-
I got lost there today.
Oh,
I will.
Well, because this doesn't work.
Oh.
You know, I said that to my wife when I got home.
I know,
And
that's
she
the
goes,
exciting one,
he's
right?
right. I never wanted to say anything.
All
So we
right.
need
Hey.
to-
well,
Do we
anyway,
need to give them a big thanks?
but I just wanted to, first of all, thank you for coming out. We appreciate you coming out to see the location. I'm not sure if the others have seen it, but thank you for coming. And we did try to, I know, sir, that you asked for a site plot plan and some side views. We tried to make sure you got those this time. And then we have some, we made some changes based on the feedback from Richard and the last meeting that we incorporated in the new design. So hopefully you appreciate those. We try to tie it in with the rest of the house. With some, want a large copy?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Blow everything away.
I don't know.
So we added some, to try to tie it to the rest of the house, we added some pillars to the front, moved it back, the room back a bit. It's back 5 feet now, but it has the pillars in front of it, which are 2 feet back. And it's 14 feet wide for the room now instead of the, we talked about it one time 20, but it's only 14 feet wide. And we've reduced the number of windows from on the ends from 3 to 2. Same on the back of the doors. So the, so those are the main things that we changed.
So, and we discussed this last time.
Yes.
Because of the vantage, as you're looking at the front of the house, you're not going to see the peak of what's behind the front. You're not going to see that.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The deck part that goes, still would walk outside to get to the
Mhm.
on the bottom, but you come from inside the house to get to the deck on top of it. That would come out of the bedroom, which is up above. I mean, our goals were to be able to provide a room that looked out over the marsh, and this location provides that. And also brings a lot of light into that bedroom, which is up above the garage. Those are the main goals.
How's the soil there?
Well, the whole lot was built up.
Yeah.
So the first, I don't know, 1.5 feet is, it's a little rough, but the rest of it is all pretty much sandy, clay soil type of thing.
The reason I mention it is I put an addition on my house 15 years ago, I guess. And I used these concrete things. And I sold the house 10 years ago. And good terms with the guy who bought it. We're back and forth. He's a retired electrician. And last time I saw him, he was asking me if I knew a builder who could jack the end of the house up a little because
They
it's
settled.
actually sinking.
Mhm.
And I did it same way as you are. I think I had 4, and I only went out 5 feet. So you're going out 10 feet, putting a lot more weight on, and you have 3. So you might want to take a look at that.
Okay.
And
Yeah, might need more substantial footings under the sonotubes.
yeah,
Maybe. I think an engineer could tell you. Might be fine.
you've got
Right.
3 here,
Right.
so you might want to put an extra couple in there. But if you get an engineer.
Yeah,
Okay.
that would really,
All right.
I didn't think I would have a problem like that because it only went out 5 feet. And there's nothing up above except some solar panels leaning. Solar hot water.
to a different elevation.
This is,
I think it's
these are
It's all the
all.
same? Oh, good.
I think, didn't you do that?
Yeah.
Separate,
Yeah,
separate document.
Paula, you can have one too, if you like it.
You like brown?
Why not?
It's good as right there.
Oh, yes, oh, this is, okay. And black blue.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, and it is also one of the things that did want you to know is it's also 6/6 windows, not 6/10, which matches the rest of it.
You don't have a view of the other elevations?
We did in the package. It showed that on a small.
It should be on the sheet that was
Different sheet.
given ahead of time.
Oh, the little one?
No.
I don't have it.
Does this help? I don't know if you want to look at it. It's all the same.
Yeah.
That shows on one side,
Coming in
and it shows it from the other side.
when he's driving down Physical Circle. See first view.
Don't cut them up. This kind of shows you what we're going to try to do in the front too. It's an illustration of what we're talking about doing in the pillars. We just would use the consistent with the rest of the house rather than all one. You can say what would be.
So you had some concerns about snow.
That's not my problem.
I know, it's not your problem. But I thought it was worth reminding you that they're
Say it at the beginning,
gonna be shoveling this deck if it snows.
yeah, climate change. You know, have-
That's right. The global warming will be fine. Never gonna snow in the Cape again.
That was those are the plans. No, they were, I dropped them off. They were views from all four sides. Might be where-
And there's no one left out there, so obviously they're no opposed.
No.
You can see the same.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I thought they were in there. Oh, okay.
You're not crazy.
What's behind you? Anything, anybody?
There's another house.
Lot of shrubbery.
Oh, yeah, there's
Shrubbery.
Leland's. They're probably 20.
Yeah, they grow like weeds.
Oh, there's one for everybody.
Yeah.
Here, Paula.
Those are from the original plan.
Yeah.
Found those on Fish.
People are on addition.
No.
It's on there now.
The original. No, but there was one there at the beginning.
Oh, there was, it was.
Oh, that might. I think that picture, that picture might have been taken when it blew off.
And it's been put back on or?
3 or 4 years. They put up there, it's right on one of the storms.
So Isaac,
Pardon me?
Isaac.
Yes, yeah.
So you step back the porch.
We
Correct.
step back, we
As
step
we
back,
asked.
put you in the room, right? Right, dismiss the front of the house.
What else? Is there anything else?
No.
No? I move to approve.
All in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
Aye.
That's actually funny. We needed a little.
Well, it's late tonight, you
I
know,
got-
right?
no, I enjoyed it. I did.
Thank you.
You like these back?
Yeah.
Okay.
If any changes from the camera crew, you let us know. I'm right.
Keep on this side.
Yeah, it's just one.
Well,
There's some concerns down there.
Just so it's started.
Yeah, I can get it on my plan. Oh, yeah. No,
Did you get one? That's the third version.
So yeah, after the appeal period is over, and we get the certificate issued, then we can get this, a copy of this from us to bring to the building department. All right, then that's fine. You need one of those, that screw stamp, yeah.
Change the date.
Unless we reference it really efficiently in the certificate.
Okay.
Ten
How long is the appeal period?
days.
10 days, okay, that's okay.
Calendar days.
Calendar days.
Yeah.
Not business days?
That's good.
No. calendar.
All right, calendar days.
That's
I like
in your
that.
favor.
Yeah, yes, it is.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah, busy night.
all right, let's go.
Good, good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Okay. So that is it for tonight.
Next meeting, we should be back downstairs. The Board of Selectmen just decided they needed a meeting tonight, so.
Can't they give us a little bit more notice next time?
It would have been nice. but- And we're gonna be working on the 2022 meeting schedule in the next week or two, so we'll double check for any, I would recommend just don't even bother putting it on a Tuesday night. If for some reason you have to bump it,
Yeah,
because I specifically asked, I said, but we kind of booked it a year in advance,
yeah.
and I was
So
told,
what are we gonna do about Columbus Day and, other Monday holidays? I mean, are we gonna, do you think we should just meet on the holiday? I mean, no.
no,
Well,
maybe
so
the
how are we
week
gonna-
before, or the week after,
Occasionally we even drop.
or drop one. I mean, the Board of Appeals has no meetings in November, because Veterans Day falls on the second Thursday, and of course Thanksgiving falls on the fourth Thursday.
Mhm.
So they just don't have any meetings in November.
In December, we usually have one.
So what's the plan for the 25th? 25th is fine, yeah. As far as we know,
Mhm.
but that's a Monday. Nobody needs the hearing room on Monday. But it's something we can talk about. Maybe on the 25th, we can have the 2022 calendar available to look at if you want to review that. We'll see if there's any tricky things. What is it? Columbus Day is usually the second Monday?
Yeah,
Or we're the first and third? I can't remember anymore.
second and fourth.
Second and fourth. So Columbus Day, yeah, could be the second Monday.
Next is a Monday.
Yeah.
We'll look at it and brainstorm.
So we have an appeal coming up on Tuesday.
Right. July, in July.
Yeah. Do you wanna,
I
Tell
may
Paula
go,
what
I
it's
may
all
go
about.
to the meeting, I'm not sure.
uh-huh.
Is this a a recent appeal or one that I would know about?
Yeah, it's, I'm so tired tonight.
It's all right. So it's a solar panel. appeal.
It's all-
Imagine that.
Yeah, it's a solar panel.
Ah, God,
And
I,
it's on, what's it, number 18 or 12, Cottonwood,
I
Yeah.
think it's 18. Yeah.
18 Cottonwood. It's on the front of the house, but it's an area that the houses are almost all identical to one another. I was making a big deal about the vent pipe. I drove by there a week later, and there's the same vent pipe on every house. So probably the floor plan's the same in all the houses as well, as they look the same from the outside, you know? And so usually, you know, I've been making note of where, you know, most roofs are clean on the front and the vent pipes are in the back. But, you know, you get like 1 out of 100. This neighborhood, every house, like 30 houses, they want to built by the same builder at the same time. So we should ignore it. And the fact is, the array was going to be, I think, 14 panels instead of 15. It was like a 3x5 array. And I was trying to get them to fill in that one gap and move the pipe. And then after I saw the neighborhood, they're all the same, so there we go. Yeah. So anyway, it was voted 2-1, I think. I abstained, I think. I voted against them for their 2 signatures. So, Bob, maybe
So
there
yeah,
was 3.
the solar panel
Who's there?
issue isn't going away.
Well,
Was
if John
John
was
there that
there, he
night?
would. John,
You and John
Rosemary.
and Rosemary. Yeah. Mine was the other one.
All right, kids, I gotta go.
Yeah. Are we adjourned?
A motion?
I move to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
Great.
It's been a sheer delight.
All right.
Here, I don't know if you save paper clips. I destroyed one of them.
End that meeting.